Woo! That blade is gnarly, right? Hi, I'm Tommy McDonald, host of Rough Cut Woodworking, seen nationally on PBS. This right here is called a joiner. And I gotta tell you what, that blade right there will take your fingers off in a second. Nothing scares me more in my shop than this machine right here. And I think it gets the least amount of respect. So let me break it down and show you how it works. Now, obviously it has a cutter head here. It has an in-feed table, that's adjustable. It has a fence, and it has an out-feed table. The out-feed table is very important. You need to make sure that that out-feed table is dead in line with those blades when they're at 90. Now, another thing you want to do when you hit the joiner, before you use it, is grab a little bit of wax and put it right on your machine. All the way around. Nice. And you can see I'm just wiping it on there willy-nilly, you know? I'm going to grab another rag and just wipe it down lightly. Cool. Because if you have too much wax on here, what's going to happen is it's going to stick and then the board won't go across. So it needs to be dry. That's looking pretty good. Now, a joiner was invented because wood shows up from the lumberyard looking just like this. You can see that it's dirty, it's rough, and it's certainly not flat, all right? Check it out. See this here? So, as woodworkers, we need to flatten one side before we can do anything with our material. The way that this thing works is that you want to take your board, go over the cutter head, and then go on the outfeed table until it's flat. Now, another thing that people do, which I don't recommend, is that you go across the cutter head. You see where my hand is in reference to that cutter head? Even though this board is about 1 inch thick, to me that is still really dangerous. 1, because the material might have knots. 2, it might be under stress. 3, I have no idea what that thing is going to do. And if it blows apart when my hand is right here, forget about it. I'm headed to the hospital. Now, with a really long board, you have to put a ton of downward pressure on it, and when it gets to the end, it's really difficult. So, a lot of guys back in the day, they would just use their hand as a heel hook, and obviously, you can see the dangers. So, the industry came up with what they thought was a solution. Check it out. They're little tiny paddles. Now, I've tried these paddles. I'm not a fan of these paddles, and I'll tell you why. 1, because I think they're too narrow, and they are pretty wobbly. I was doing this kind of stuff, and I really didn't feel comfortable. Another thing is if you look at the bottom of them, they get beat up real easy because it's just soft rubber. And it flakes off in 2 seconds. So, let me show you what I reach for now. I reach for the grip block, all right? Now, I just love these little grip blocks by Microjig. 1, because check it out. See that green bottom? I know it doesn't look like much, but trust me, it is super sticky. And once you put a little pressure downward, they're never gonna come off. I know a lot of people are concerned about the sawdust, but trust me, if it gets a little bit of dust on them, I just wipe it right here in my jeans, and then I'm back in business. The idea is that you wanna use these hand over hand, all right? What I really love is right here. Sometimes when I really need to put that downward pressure, check it out. They have these things down here called smart hooks, or for everybody else in the country, smart hooks, all right? Let me show you how they work. You can see when I drag this block across the back, they're gonna drop into position, just like that. Now, when I go across at the very end, I don't have to depend on my hand. I'm just gonna push down on this grip block and go right across. So, let me show you how it works. The first thing I do here at the joint is I take a pencil and I just go across the surface of the piece of wood that I'm trying to flatten, because this will tell me how much I need to take off after my first pass. I always wear safety glasses, and I especially wear hearing protection. So, what you want to do is you want to start right about here. 70% of my weight is on my front foot, and I'm just going to go across that blade nice and easy. Once I get across that blade, I'm going to move down, then I'm just going to go hand over hand on the outfeed table. All right? Piece of cake. All right, now let's see how we made out. Check out this beautiful piece of wood. What a huge difference from the flat side to the not so flat side. Last tip of the day, I know a ton of you guys like to flatten thin boards about 2 inches. Just take the 2 seconds it's going to take to adjust your fence to really reduce the amount of blade near your fingers. Now always remember, safety first here at the joiner.